Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are in the world, and welcome to the Transnation Esports US regional coverage here for the Japanese Grand Prix. I am Stu, joined as always by the one and only Seb. How is it going tonight, sir?
It's going great, man. It's always great when Monday comes around.
Yeah, I mean, we missed you last night. Unfortunately, you weren't able to make it for the to race in Sunday, but like you said, Monday is always a very fun time here. We get to hang out together and talk about some racing that's going on and maybe shoot the I don't even shoot the shit.
Shoot the shit.
I was trying to find something another way to put it, but there wasn't really another way. So, always a good time here as yeah, we head into I don't even know what round this is, like round 20? No, this is round 18, I think. Round
Oh
18
yeah,
here
we
for
still got a
Japan.
couple more races.
Yeah, we still have 4 races left. Oh no, or do we? 18, 19, 20, 21, 20, 5 races left. Jesus. In the freaking calendar. So, um, it's the championship is shaping up to be a pretty close one here as we wind down in the season. Seb, do you have the standings in front of you, or do you want me to go through them?
Give me one
I'll
second,
tell you
man.
what. I'll start off with the constructors here. So at the top of the board, I love doing that. At the top of the board, we have McLaren with 363 points. Currently in second, the Red Bull Racing Duo with 341, just 21 and a half points back. In third, the Racing Point Boys, 328 points. So that is still wide open there at the top. McLaren with a slight edge, but Red Bull's been strong this season, and Racing Point, they had a really strong week last week. So see if they're able to carry that through. AlphaTauri currently sitting in P4 with 237 points. After that, it takes a little bit of a big step down and it opens right up again. Ferrari sitting in 5th with 104, Haas with 74, Renault with 63, Williams with 62, Alfa Romeo with 54, and then finally bringing up the rear, we have the Mercedes boys with 44 and a half points. Did I stall enough? Stall long enough for you, Seb?
Yeah, yeah, you did. Alrighty, boys. So let's see here. So in P1 we do have Zach Dillegap with 256 and a half. P2 we got Michael Groen Jr. with 227 and a half. P3 we have Joseph Bucks with 213. P4 Jonathan Dunk with 203. P5 Michael Schooner with 138. P6 we got Daniel Hernandez with 135. P7 we have Lucas with 73. P8 we have Alex Gutierrez with 71 and a half. P9 we have Bill Vosti with 57 points. Rounding out P10 we got Peter Pan with 48 points. P11 Julian Monegro with 37. P12 Aaron Bolin with 32. P13 Vince Batterby with 31. P14 Cameron with 31. P15 we have Wesley Sandridge with 26. P16 we have Trevor Pound with 24. P17 we have James with 16. P18 is Peter Hayward with 7.5. And rounding out the points we have P19 with David Aponte with 6 points.
Yeah, it is. So tight points battle on both sides of the docket there. We're just taking a look right now. Brick Click and Big Pete says it is going to be an all sunny weekend here in Japan. So that will be good to. That's certainly a welcome sight, I'm sure, for these guys as rain in Japan, it's not terribly fun. Rain anywhere isn't exactly the most fun thing in the
Oh
world, I
yeah,
guess.
exactly.
But Interesting. A few drivers coming out here for a run on the mediums. There's a car that's off track there. That's an Alfa Romeo, I believe. That was Aaron Bolin, but he is back going. But yeah, a few drivers opting to go out for their first run here on the mediums. The mediums, I mean, they're a good race tire, but qualifying, you're gonna leave a little bit there out on the table. Of course, for anybody that was tuning into um, last night's running of the U.S. Regional Sunday night, they would know that there was a fair number of drivers that started on the mediums. Whether it was necessarily intentional or not can be debated, but there was some varying strategies up there throughout the field. Some Michael Groen
Michael
Jr.
with the
crosses the line.
26-7.
Yeah, just behind.
KD with the 26-7.
Yeah, so Kyle is making the most of that Alfa Romeo seat as he currently sits at the top of the scoring. Some other times coming in, we have Lucas, we have Passassin. I'll have to get a name confirmation on that. One of the reserves, of course. Jake, one of the newer drivers in the Williams. The Iceman just set a 127.8. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, so the Passassin is Drake. Of course, Drake, one of the.
I told you that.
Yeah, lots of names to remember here. Drake is, of course, one of the newer reserve drivers to this Monday night series. Of course, Seb, your favorite is just about to come out on track. That is Bill Vossi. He's starting his flying lap. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Seb, there's a little something that's going to be going on with you and Bill coming up soon, isn't there?
Oh yeah, man. So for those of you who don't know, there's been an unrivaled rivalry going on.
Oh, when Bill's around, I was on board with him. Oh,
look at that. But there's been an undying rivalry since round one in this season of TNE between me and Bill, and it's been a constant time trial battle, constant smack talking here and there in the Discord. So I went ahead and I proposed a challenge. I called Bill down for the final time between me and him to settle this rivalry once and for all. And I believe we decided on a Wednesday, which is going to be December 9th at 7 o'clock. So it's going to be streamed. We're going to have some great commentators. Stu, Michael, Maddie also. We're going to stream it, commentate it, and I believe the format we're going to be doing is 5 races, 3 laps apiece. 2 races will be chosen by me, 2 laps will be chosen by Bill, and we are leaving the last one to the admins for them to decide. We're still thinking about how we want to do quali. You can also put your input on this too. We were thinking about my 2 races I start, his 2 races he starts, and then for the admin race we were thinking about actually doing a one-shot quali to mix that last one up.
ooh. I think that's a pretty good idea. Now, I guess one of the questions that I have off the top of my head, as we see James go to P6 here in the Ferrari, now are you guys going to be telling the other driver what your chosen tracks are, or is it going to be a complete surprise?
So it's gonna be a complete surprise. So
Boy.
I hope he's practicing every single race that is on the calendar within these next week, 2 weeks, because it could be anything. It could be anything from Monaco to all the way to Spa, like it. And I think that's what's going to be good about it, is that it's going to be a surprise. Like, obviously, I'm going to know what I'm doing, but I'm not going to know what Bill's doing. So once we load up one of his races, I can be like, alright, cool, like, I got this. Or it's going to be one of those, like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Well, this should be interesting. This should be a fun one to watch at the very least. Some quality entertainment here to kind of cap off a season-long rivalry for you guys who you've never really raced against each other, but
Yeah, I honestly don't know how it happened. It was just one day somebody said something, and from then on, it's just been a constant battle. And me and Bill are just here to give the people what they want. There's some people that I won't mention by name that are, I think, a little bit emotionally invested in this
oh,
rivalry.
Bucks just had a moment. He had a spin in Dunlop, but he's back going now. So you think there's some people pretty heavily invested in this rivalry, eh? Yeah. You know what? I think we're all a little bit invested in it. Maybe, maybe some of us more than others, but no, it should be fun to watch. Should be fun to watch for sure. Out on track. I mean, not too much going on. We still have 6 drivers who have yet to set a time. We're currently following along Zach Hochmeyer, our championship points leader in the Racing Point. We'll see what he's going to be able to pump out here, but yeah, Zach's been able to capitalize on some of his championship competitors' some mishap recently, and he goes to the top of the charts, a 126.355 for the Hawk. So,
That's surprising, man. Usually he waits till about time expires while he's on track to put in his qualifying lap.
yeah, and interesting, Michael Garone Jr. came out and tried to do a lap on the mediums, was not improving on his time, so he brought that into the pits. KD, Kyle, he is not improved on his time either, and, or at least yet, and he is going to cross the line, but I don't think this is going to be a very good effort. Yeah, 126.8, so it's a 10th slower than what his previous was. Oh, the Passassin, that is Drake, he just jumped up to P2, a 126.644. Of course, one of the reserves that's joining us tonight, along with, I believe ISRL Knight is the other one. He's filling in for David Aponte in that Renault. Good to see that some guys in there. Jonathan Dunk currently has yet to set a time with 7 minutes to go here in this qualifying session. Of course, the 3-time race winner this season. He has yet to have he hasn't had a late safety car that's come out and helped him lately, but he's definitely shown a bit of a pace increase, I think, as the season has gone on, which is good to see.
I mean, it hurts me to say it, but Bill seems like he's playing a really good lap in right now.
That's out. Dunk hops up to P4. He jumps Michael Garone Jr. Interesting.
Shitty lap, Bill.
Bill goes P12, a 127.8. And then there was one that is yet to set a time. Alex Gutierrez, a 131.7. I can't imagine that's a representative lap time, but you never know.
Oh, I highly doubt that.
Peter Hayward driving around the Mercedes Formula Ford car. Brick clicking Big Pete. Opted to not go for another lap without his front wing. Probably a smart move. So who do we got here? Who do we got? Lots of drivers not really doing too much right now. Michael Garone Jr. just starting a flying lap, so let's keep an eye on him, of course. Wasn't going to improve on those mediums, but he's trying his best. Whoa, and Mike's around. Oh, he saved it, but a big moment there for Michael Garone Jr.
It's a little bit of a nice drift.
Yeah, this isn't a drift race there, Mike. You gotta keep her on track. Keep her out of the dirt.
Keep her straight.
Yeah. But, well, All right, that's enough of following him along then, isn't it? Jonathan dunks into the pits. Who else is into the pits? Is that Bucks behind him? Bucks sitting down in P9 right now. That is uncharacteristic as well, of course. Bucks struggled last week after taking a week off, and it's really cost him a lot of ground in the championship.
I really feel like Bucks has kind of been a little bit off form.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Maybe ever since that TNE CRL race just hasn't been the same. So, maybe he just lost all hope. I mean, depends on it. CRL is going to say that they won on points on that, which they did, but I believe we locked out the podium, if I'm not mistaken. So
I'm sure we did.
yeah, I believe it was Honda, Zach, and Mike that locked out that podium. So
yeah, that's all that matters.
Exactly, that is all that matters.
Just feeling generous, and making every spot count.
Man, Peter Pan is going to come in and put on a set of mud tires, I feel like. He has dipped his tires into the grass more than I've seen anybody around this circuit, even more than I did last night. Oh, and there he's off. He saved it, but he's going to invalidate this lap, so Peter Pan. Yeah, gone mudding. Kyle is on a flying lap right now, currently sitting P4. Of course, he set the early fastest lap of the session, and we'll see if he's able to improve on that. One of the few drivers that's out for a flying lap right now. Alex Gutierrez also as well. So,
first retirement.
Yeah. In the pits as well. So Kyle here, he was just slower in his first run, or his first sector, than his fastest lap. So see if he's able to pick up the time that he knows when he invalidates there. So does he have enough gas to be able to go for another run? We don't know. Alex Gutierrez is on a flying lap though, currently P19. And he and his teammate definitely don't want to see that, as they are in a tight battle for the Constructors' Championship. Alex currently just making his way through Sector 2 right now. He's 3.4 seconds up on his previous best time, so I think it's safe to say that as long as he keeps it between the lines here, he's going to see a big jump up the board. Going to come around the final corner across the line, and he's going to go to P13. So maybe still a little bit disappointing, but P13 is a lot better than P19. And see what he's going to be able to do to start the race.
So how far do you think this Drivers' Championships battle is going to go, Stu?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down to Abu Dhabi. We know that these are all quick drivers. It's going to be we're going to have to see how this one plays out here today. I think we're going to have maybe a bit of a clearer picture around here today. We know that Bucks really needs to have everything go right for him to drag his way back up into that championship hunt. But meanwhile, Michael Garone Jr. and Zach Hockmeyer, they're still locked in a fairly close battle. 29 points is the gap, though. So, if you're Zach in this case, he's got to make sure he just runs clean races, finishes, gets the points, and plays it cool. I mean, that's really about it. Like, if you're Michael,
he's got a really close call with Daniel, though.
Oh, did he? Daniel actually. We missed his quick lap, but a 126.590. Currently P2, so he's showing some good pace around here. His teammate, Michael Garone Jr., is currently out on track right now. He's 10th He's a tenth up on his previous best time, so showing that there's still some pace left in that McLaren, and I'd love to see a Zach versus Mike battle going down here today. That'd be a fun one to watch,
Oh, always.
especially
I
between.
think Zach just went faster
Oh, did he?
with the
Uh,
26.
26.3.
Did
No,
he
he's
go
about to
faster?
finish his time. He's coming around the final corner right now to cross the start finish line. He does a 26.1.
26-1.
I'll go back to Michael Garone Jr. right now. He is almost 4 tenths up.
Mr.
Dunk
Sausage
is
with P2.
Dunk is behind him, and then Bucks is behind him. Bucks is a half second up. Jonathan Bunks. So Mike goes P3, a 126.3.
Ooh,
Bucks goes P5, a 126.6. Dunk crosses the line, goes P4, a 126.5.
26-5.
We still have the two Ferrari boys out on track. That's Lucas and James, currently P9, P10. They're going to be the last two drivers to cross the line here. See what they're going to be able to do. They are tied right now, a 126.879 for both of the Ferrari drivers. That's impressive.
I think they're both coming around right now.
Yeah, they are. So Lucas is going to cross line and improve slightly. Will James be able to top that? James does top it. So James goes P7, Lucas P9, and that is going to be qualifying here from Japan. So the top 10 are all going to start on the mediums, or on the on the softs. Everybody did their fastest lap on the softs. So yeah.
I mean, you just need a lot of grip around here.
Yeah, actually, the grip in this on this track in 2020 is pretty good. Not too bad at all, but yeah, it's a track, especially in Sector 1, you want to make sure you have that grip sorted out, and it's yeah, I mean, nothing that's too surprising from this qualifying session. Don't know if I would have guessed that Drake Passassin was going to be up there. The 126.333, good enough for P2. So we'll see what he's got, what he has to offer out there today. Bucks down in P6, but overall, at the end of the day, you look up and down this, like you look at the top 9, and they're separated by about a half second. 6 tenths of a second. So the field is very close, especially that upper portion of the grid, and I think it's going to be a fun one to watch here today.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a fun one.
Hopefully it's more fun to watch than the Sunday night race we had last night. Pretty uneventful.
Oh, that's just what happens when I don't race.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. A couple of good individual performances though in that race. As
that's what I do here.
Yes, that is what you do, Seb. But here in Japan, it's going to be sunny all race weekend, and we ramp up for round 18. It's as we've said a few times, it's crunch time, and I can't even ask Seb how he thinks about this track because you haven't done a single lap around it, have you?
Uh, so recently no, but I know definitely through the S's, man. Definitely through there. You don't want to be going side by side. You want to be making sure that you're holding down the traction, and then coming out, and then I believe it's Dunlop. I believe it is. You gotta be careful coming out onto there because if you touch that outside curb and you forget how far out you are,
Oh yeah.
you're gonna nick the grass. And the moment you nick the grass, if you are a no traction control driver, you could say goodbye to your race.
Yeah, that is yeah. Definitely Dunlop is one of the there's a few tricky corners around this track. Sector 1 is kind of where they all live. And I think it'll be interesting to see here today. I'm especially among the top 9 what kind of setups they've taken into this race. Um, because there as I discovered last night, I mean obviously different setups are going to be different in different parts of the track. But a more downforce heavy setup, I think you can really gain towards the end of the first run and even toward at the end of the race. So that extra downforce is really going to help you in Sector 1, and we'll see if that comes into play here as this race runs on, as we're just waiting for Wesley to wrap up.
I'm sure
She's
it's easy to get penalties here also, I wouldn't doubt.
actually, there's not really that many opportunities to get penalties around here. I think I just had one warning last night. Um, but I know throughout the field there was a few drivers that didn't get any. There was, well, actually, it might have been more than a few. There was a number of drivers that didn't get any penalties. The only real opportunity is going into the Dagners. Of course, I believe that's turns 7 and 8. I could be wrong on that though. Let me pull up a track map. But yeah, there are some opportunities actually. That is turns 8 and 9. Damn it. So we'll see. We'll see if
You
that
had one of them, right?
comes into play today. Sorry.
You had one of the turns, right?
Yeah, I had one of them. And turn 8, I think is the more difficult one, anyways. It's kind of that small. It's a right-hander that's
Ooh.
kind of an yeah. It's a fun little corner, but anyways, the DXT Esports starting grid on row 1. We have Zach Hockmeyer. Alongside him is one of the reserve drivers tonight. That is Passassin. That is Drake. On row 2, Michael Garone Jr. and Jonathan Dunk. On row 3, we have Daniel Hernandez and James. On row 4, we have Kyle and one of the new additions to the full-time field here on Monday night, as well as light work. That is Lucas. Starting P9, we have Nick, ISRL Knight, the other one of the reserves. And rounding out the top 10, we have Cameron. Starting P11, we have Julian Monegro in the Mercedes. P12 is the Iceman, Michael Schoonert. We have Bill Vosti starting P13, Alex Gutierrez P14, Jake, JS3 Gaming P15, Aaron Bolin P16, Peter Pan P17. Alongside him will be his Haas teammate starting P18, that's Wesley. P19 will be Peter Hayward, and rounding out the field is Bucks. So he actually is experiencing a glitch where if he was not in for the start of qualifying, he will get moved to the back of the grid. So unfortunate for Bucks, who's going to be starting on the softs. So
I'm sure he knows he could get through everybody, or at least a lot of them.
yeah, actually interesting here is only one driver starting on the hards, that's Julian, and Alex Gutierrez and Aaron Bolin starting on the mediums. But the lights are building, revs are up, and we are racing in Japan. Dunk didn't get off the line, and there's carnage off the line.
He had a jump start. It said he had a jump start.
Oh no.
That must mean that anti-stall kicked in.
Virtual safety car already, and wings are flying everywhere. Half the field is side by side. They're going to have to sort this out. Got to be careful. Lots of cars missing wings. Cameron missing a wing. We have Bill, who's up to P9 now. James is missing a wing. Nick is missing a wing.
Took a Ferrari straight to the back of the gearbox.
Yeah. Julian Monegro P6. So he's jumped up a lot. Other than that, though, Dunk. So you're saying that Dunk.
So Dunk has a drive-through for a jump start. So I'm wondering if what happened is he went to jump, let everything go, brake, and then his anti-stall kicked in.
Yeah, that may have been it. That may have been it. That's really the first time that we've seen something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't think we've seen that this season, but I mean that's the downside of anti-stall, that if it engages on the game for some reason,
oh god, they're gonna go.
Does not go away.
They're gonna go 2 wide. They were almost 3 wide there into 130R. They thought better of it. There's a yellow flag now. That's a Williams that's around. That's JS3. That's Jake. So he's going to wait for the field to pass. He did have wing damage. Oh, no, he didn't. He just picked that up.
Oh, no, he didn't make the pit. Okay.
Yeah. Well, 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 well. So a
crazy carnage going on.
Yeah, a chaotic start to the race here, and a yellow flag in Sector 1. That's a Haas that's off. That's Wesley, I think. Daniel Hernandez, what happened to him?
Oh, I think that was Peter Pan.
No, we just having a glitch.
I think Peter Pan had to spin.
Oh, it was Peter. Alrighty, so yeah, Peter does have a lot of wing damage on that, so I wonder if he had a helping hand or what happened there. Regardless, though, there's a battle going on for P2 right now. Michael Garone Jr. does not want to let Zach get too far ahead. He's got to keep his main championship rival here close by. There's a yellow flag in Sector 2 for, I
believe Peter Pan was getting dunked by.
Yep, I believe you're right. Mike is looking to get around Drake.
Needs to be careful.
That he does. That he does. Daniel Hernandez sets the fastest lap of the race. So here's Mike. Is he going to try and go up the inside? He's not going to be close enough. They almost got right into the back of Zach as Drake took a peek up the inside of Zach. And Zach picks up his first time penalty of the race. The leader picks up a 3-second.
We were just talking about it.
Yeah, and that actually surprises me. I mean, there's not too many spots on this track that you would really overextend, and it just looks like he pushed that envelope a little bit too much. Oh, and he almost lost it coming out of the second Degner. Degner. Yeah, I mean, there was the reason why it's going to be called the Degner tonight is we were having a discussion the other night about what it's actually called, and it's spelled out with an ERS at the end, even though it may be more pronounced Degna, but you know what?
But we're going to call it Degner.
It's a look out for those Degners, bud.
Jeez.
I mean, at the end of the day, we gotta keep it interesting here, keep it light. So, Degner it is. As will there be a potential pass for the lead here this time? The top three are all close together, but don't rule out Daniel Hernandez and Kyle, who's in P5 right now. They are still within striking distance of these guys.
I mean, Zach's got to have a killer setup, man. I mean, because they're not able to catch him with DRS, and I mean, he's not really using his overtake.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that so that might lead me to believe that Zach might be using a setup that that doesn't give him as much front downforce. So he would probably be losing time to these guys if through Sector 1. But he's able to gain that back down the straight, so
I mean, he is just being hunted right now.
He is. The top 5 are all within DRS range of one another, so it's this could be a good battle here. Hopefully that develops. We also have a battle going on for P6 right now. Bill Vosti has not been able to get past Julian Monegro. Julian on those hard compound tires and Bill on the softs. So
and then Bucks is also fighting Iceman for P8.
Yellow flag.
Oh,
that's Dunk. Dunk had an off, and he has wing damage. So a bad race gets worse for Dunk. Currently down in P15.
Tonight's just not Dunk's night.
No, it is not.
He's definitely going to be wanting some late safety cars.
He's going to need a safety car now if he wants to be able to keep on sort of even a similar strategy to these guys. But still a long race to go. 22 laps to go here in Japan. And plenty can still happen. Zach Hochmeyer, he is losing a lot of time in Sector 1 to Drake here. Especially towards the end of that sector. So I really do think that Zach just has a lower downforce setup on that car. We see a battle for P15 with Nick getting past Cameron.
Top 5 are all together, and then you have 6 to 10 pretty much all together.
Yeah, you're right. We see Bill has dropped off the back of Julian a little bit here, and now he's having to deal with Bucks, who's caught him quickly. Bucks, of course, started dead last, avoided any of that first lap carnage, and now has done a good job to make his way up to what's P8 right now. Gonna look to make a move maybe on Bill.
Assassin's out of DRS range.
Oh yeah, what happened to him? So maybe Zach's just turning it up. He has used some ERS. Yellow flag in Sector 1. That is a Haas that the leaders are coming up on. There is a Haas that is Peter. Oh, Zach! Zach just had a big moment. Coming out of Dunlop, Zach Hochmeyer had a big moment there and dipped the wheels off the track. He's lost about 4/10 of a second as a result of it. And there's a yellow flag in sectors 1 and 2.
Be careful, so those tires are degrading.
God, that was a little bit hairy looking back there. Yeah, so maybe the softs are starting to wear down a little bit. I mean, the expectation for the tires around here. Oh, Zach with another tank slapper.
He's just drifting my car around.
Yeah, he is. As the expectations for tires would be probably about end of lap 10, I think, is when we're going to see most of these soft runners pit to get them swapped out. As for the medium runners, probably lap 16-ish. We'll see
that's how you know you're fast. If you're drifting around turns and you're still holding a gap.
Yeah, that's true. Of course, Passassin Drake was able to keep within DRS range that time, so that's important, especially for Michael Garone Jr. too, who can't let Zach break away. Especially
Zach keeps having moments like these. We're not gonna have to worry about it.
Yeah, and while we were talking about all this, Bucks was able to get past Julian and Bill. Bill also lost a spot to the Iceman, so the Iceman has been creeping his way up the running order here today.
He's now got Alex on the back of him.
Yeah, Alex Gutierrez, not the best. Ooh, yellow flag in Sector 3. Peter Pan has had an accident.
No, I think he's in the pit.
Yeah, he did just retire it in the pits. So 7 laps in, Peter calls it a day. We saw him struggling a little bit with it in qualifying, and Japan's a tricky track. You gotta be on your game here, and it'll eat you up if you're not. Yeah, Drake now, he's low on ERS, and Zach, you can really see that Zach is able to gain through Sector 3, so I think if you're Michael Garone Jr., you got to try and take advantage of this right now. But I don't think Mike's going to be close enough to... Oh, Mike's under fire from his teammate. Daniel Hernandez up the inside, and he's going to take P3. Mike's going to charge back, but Daniel Hernandez to P3 here. This could be interesting in terms of pit strategy.
That is true.
The two McLaren boys, of course. And Zach is starting to dart. 1.4 seconds now is the gap. As Peter leaves the session. But my goodness, what are we gonna see here, pitch strategy-wise, from these top 5? I think it's pretty clear cut. We're gonna see them all go to the mediums, the one
I mean,
stops.
Mike's gonna have to undercut Joker.
Yeah, you would think. If you would think that if Mike was, yeah, to really keep his chances alive here, he almost has to make an undercut. Yellow flag in Sector 1. That is a Mercedes, I believe, that went around it. What's going on here? Daniel Hernandez is right on the back of Drake right now. Drake dives into the pits. Skids into the pits, so...
He's the first one to jump.
Yeah. But, I would imagine...
about to be under fire from KD.
I think that we're probably going to see Mike pit this lap. That would be my guess. Of course, just not having the ideal... it wasn't ideal that his teammate got past him. And now that Daniel is released, I think Mike definitely doesn't want to have a double stack occur, that's for sure. So...
Oh, definitely not. He would lose way too much time.
Yeah. The question is if you're Zach, like, Mike needs to probably try the undercut to catch up. But if you're Zach, do you maybe pit this lap as well and try and prevent Mike from getting any of that undercut, being successful with it? So we'll see this lap here if any of these guys decide to come in. I would imagine we'll see one of the McLaren boys come in.
I mean, I'm sure one of them has to, and I feel like Zach would almost have to too, depending on how his tires are starting to feel if he's having turns like that.
Yeah, true. I mean, Zach, of course, does like to run the wild setup, and Zach's going to stay out. Daniel's going to stay out. Mike is going to come in. He almost didn't get it, almost didn't make the turn in. Zach and KD are both going to come in.
Well, I'm sure Michael had to wait very last minute just in case
Yeah.
Daniel tried to jump in.
Yeah, that is true. So Mike is through and out of the pits. Julian Monegro. Ooh,
Oh,
Bill
Bill
Vossi
with
gets a 5-second. Naughty, naughty. But he's back on his way. So the wild chaotic start has... I mean, there's bunches of drivers throughout the field, but for the most part, the field is pretty spread out, other than the occasional battle that's going on here.
Assassin got the undercut done on Michael, but it almost looked like they had a little moment when Michael was coming out of the pit.
I don't know, because Mike wasn't that close to him. He had Daniel in between them, so... I don't know. So maybe the Assassin Drake had a moment on his outlet, perhaps, that brought him back to Mike a bit. But I mean, we'll see where these guys come out in relation to Daniel and Zach. If you're Michael, though, you need to try and take advantage of this and you know, get this get a move on here. He doesn't want to get caught behind somebody and let Zach build out that 3-second gap. Not that Drake is slow by any means, but it seems
he's right on the back of him.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, Michael, you gotta watch those brake points.
Trying to pressure. Oh, and
what did they just go around?
I don't even know. Oh, they went around the racing point. That's Alex Gutierrez. So I think Alex had a moment. There goes Mike. Mike went up the inside. We didn't get a good shot of it, but
so did KD.
Yeah. So I wonder if Drake maybe just had a bit of a tank slapper there or something. He is on the hards, which is interesting, considering that the mediums can make it to the end. So that's not going to be easy to maneuver those hards around this track. So Mike moves up to P4. The 2 leaders are still yet to come in.
Daniel's waiting for Zach to jump.
Yeah, perhaps, but are they going to wait too long? Because these guys on the mediums behind them now, you look at Mike and KD, they're going to
They're
be,
catching them.
yeah, you would think that they would be, but I
I don't
imagine
know
this
if they
thing's
want to come in,
on.
but I'm certainly coming into the party now.
Alrighty.
What's up, Brett?
I've been sitting there for like 6 or 7 laps waiting for you to invite me in.
My bad.
No, I mean actually into the commentary itself.
Oh, well, we didn't really know if you were... Anyways,
I
I guess...
was just being polite, I was waiting.
As Peter Hayward had an off there in Sector 1, got out of the way for the leaders, though, so Daniel Hernandez is catching Zach right now. So like I kind of predicted here, I think Zach running that lower downforce setup on that racing point is starting to struggle a little bit towards the end of this first run here, especially in Sector 1. But
I will grab an invite if you're
Oh, Zach lost it!
That's massive! Zach has lost
Zach
it!
completely lost it.
Whoa.
That was a massive accident.
Oh
actually,
my
I'll
god.
tell you what's happened. There's actually a really nasty bump in that part of the track, and he's hit it ferociously.
Virtual safety
And
car
it's
is
only a
deployed.
virtual.
So this is big for
Monegro nearly just drove into him.
this is big for Daniel Hernandez if he's going to be able to dive into the pits here, and this could be really big for him. This is also massive for our championship battle right now. Michael Garone Jr. It was a 29-point gap between the two of them. As the virtual's still out when Daniel's in the pits. He fits the mediums, and he's off on his way. Oh my
That was a real
goodness.
massive crash from Zach.
That is huge.
Massive for this race and for the championship as the virtual is still out. Aaron Bolin gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. Julian Monegro takes the lead of this race on the hard compound tire. I'm surprised he didn't pit there and go on to the mediums, but he's going to try and extend and go to the softs, I think. Oh,
He could probably go to the end on the. Oh no, because he
started.
He's on 12 laps already.
Yeah.
So could you flick me an invite, Seb?
And also, so KD got around Mike.
He did too.
So that's
Mike's right up his
interesting.
butt.
Yeah. So Mike needs to try and capitalize as much as he can. Once pit stops cycle through, he will be sitting P3. But
I'll be back in a minute.
I mean, wow. Can't believe that happened.
Michael would have to win to take back the lead.
He can't take back the points lead tonight. 29-point gap, but he can certainly make this a much closer battle than it is right now. And I mean, don't forget about Bucks back there either. Bucks has had a great run. He's going to be sitting P5 on track once pit stops, I think, cycle through. So I wouldn't quite rule Bucks out yet of maybe picking up a better finish, but wow, just still in shock. Like, we know that Zach likes that car, and it's been documented so far this race. He's had some moments, but still don't expect that to happen.
I mean, that car just snapped straight to the left and into the wall.
Yeah, it did. It did. Kyle almost getting into the back of a lap car, and I just saw wing come off. Who was that?
And I think that lap car just almost actually got into Michael.
I thought it was. Yeah, I think that's Wesley. It is Wesley that lost the wing, so that could have been a bad moment. But yeah, 14 laps into this race, we've certainly had more go on in this race so far than we had in the entirety of the race last night. Our leader has crashed out of the race, and championship points leader as well. So massive championship implications are going to be had there, as Zach was on an old set of softs and likely to be pitting that lap, but he was not able to make it back around to the pits. So we'll see here. Daniel Hernandez has caught the back of Julian Monegro. Julian
Holy
on
cow.
those hards.
I just got a readout from the Discord. Zach had a puncture.
Oh, that's actually, you know
Really?
what? That really doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me. It's, I know when I had the mediums on to start yesterday's race, it told me to pit on lap 16, and I had 73% wear on my front tires at that point. So once you really once you cross into the 70s, you kind of get into puncture territory, and with Zach and Daniel both going to lap 11 before they pitted, not overly surprising. Plus whatever qualifying laps they had on them. So unfortunate there for Zach.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and have a look on the replay and see if I can actually catch the moment where he...
So, yeah, we have Daniel Hernandez still trying to get the lead back. Of course, so once pit stop cycle through, he will be the leader, but yellow flag in sector 1. Is that Dunk? No, that's the Iceman. Michael Schoonert has had an off, and he is missing an end plate. So he should be able to dive into the pits, fit the softs, and make it to the end, get that wing replaced, but not ideal for him. He was having a fairly solid run, but
Change for the lead.
Unfortunately, yeah, there has been a change for the lead that's happened. It was just kind of a matter of time there before Daniel was able to skedaddle past Julian.
Oh, Julian just almost had a moment.
I think Julian's probably going to be pretty eager to come in and fit the softs here.
Alright, I've got this in slow-mo, so I'm just going to see...
Mike's trying to get past KD. Which is going to be tricky to do.
We'll say one thing for Daniel Hernandez, he's been very lucky. Because if Zach got a puncture, then...
Oh, and KD right up on the inside of Julian.
Oh, and Mike's going to try and follow through. I don't think Julian's going to fight this too hard. Well, so Mike is going to get around as well, and then Julian goes a bit wide. So the battle for P2 is brewing, and if you're Michael Garone Jr., you want to try and get that pass done.
There it is, right rear.
Oh, and there's a Williams JS3 backwards.
Oh,
he missed the pit?
Leaders are coming up on him. He is turned right around.
What he's doing?
Coming out of Casio. So, Michael Garone Jr. with the DRS deployed, but I just don't think. I think he's running. He might be running a bit too much downforce, a bit too much front wing on that car, perhaps.
I mean, both of them are tied on ERS. They both have practically none.
Yeah.
Sorry, scratch that left rear blowout. He went on the grass just inches before the so he went on the grass on the outside, just outside of the hairpin. So I would say by the fact that he's hit the rear on the grass, he's probably cut his tyre doing that.
Interesting.
That'd be some sharp grass.
Maybe Michael Garone Jr. put simulation damage on and didn't tell us. So
yeah.
Of course there are.
Well, there's going to be a lot more cars out.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, it depends how did turn 1 go.
You'll have to go back and watch that, Brett. It was a little bit wild.
So yeah, so based on that idea, there probably would have been a handful of DNFs more than...
Yeah, of course it's not on simulation damage, but not simulation damage yet.
I was going to say, yet. Season 7 and Season 3 for regionals could always throw a spice in the mix, because I'm not the boss of it next season, so Mackenzie could.
It's not happening.
Yeah.
You're hinting something there, Seb. Speaking of which, I don't know, did you answer my question I put in the comments about Julian stealing your man?
Oh no, I didn't. He could try, but he's gotta find his own one, man. That's
Jesus.
mine. That's my piece
Um,
of chocolate.
Back to the racing though. Yeah, Michael Garone Jr. He hasn't been able to catch KD. He's able to make up a couple tenths with the aid of DRS, but it's just not enough. So I really do believe that just maybe running a bit more downforce in that car, and it's preventing him from being able to make a move there for P2.
I mean, if he lets KD just pull him around on the DRS parts, like, I feel like he should be okay, because KD's a reserve anyway, correct?
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
no, KD's full time, isn't he?
yeah, KD is full time now.
Oh.
Yeah,
And and Michael doesn't have to do anything rash anyway, because KD's got 3 seconds of penalties. So
the thing that you would want to try and see an attempt be made for Mike, especially to try and capitalize as much as he can on the on the mistake that, or not the mistake that Zach made, because it was a puncture, but actually, you know what, I'd classify that maybe as a mistake. With the way that his race was going, I don't want to be critical of our championship points leader, but it was maybe a bit of an unnecessary risk, trying to extend, and
if you're not risking it,
you look at yesterday's race, and you look at the contrast that there was a safety car at the start of the Sunday race, but this was green racing, so 11 lap green racing on soft tyres. It was probably never going to happen.
No. So, I mean, there was it wasn't even a full safety car, was it? I think it was just a yeah, it was just a virtual at the start of this one. Or no, yesterday, sorry. I don't even remember. Did we have a safety car yesterday?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember that myself now, actually.
I don't think we did, because I don't know if there was any. There might have been a virtual, but I don't think there. Regardless, I mean, 11 laps.
Oh no, because Zach started on the medium, so that wouldn't have mattered.
Mercedes. That's Peter Hayward around in sector 1.
And the Williams.
Oh, they're all going off.
JS3.
Oh, who was that? You know what? I'll throw out some kudos though to Julian Monegro as he picks up a 3-second time penalty, but he's come out.
You cursed him before you even got to him.
I thought about him apparently, and that put the commentator's curse on him. He came out in P6, so that nice extension that he had on that first stint has worked out.
I don't know if Gutierrez being on the soft tyres. Well, actually, I don't even think both of them being on the soft tyres is probably a great strategy call. Ideally,
they'll make it.
Yeah, they'll make it easily. The I found the softs. I pitted for them end of lap 16 for those softs, and I don't even think I crossed the 50% mark at the end of the race. So
I will tell you one thing though, being behind another car like Michael is right now, I had in my 100th race in the Nationals, I was stuck behind Marsh Trisandi, and I'll tell you one thing, I was even using Michael's setup for that race, and I'll tell you, that car was horrible under dirty air, so it's probably a nightmare for Michael to be stuck behind. Though, what I find interesting is that even though Daniel Hernandez has 3 lap younger tyres, these two have been pulling him in.
Yeah,
Oh, hang on, I've got a sprinter around, is that?
I think that's Nick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no David Aponte tonight.
Yeah,
Careful!
no.
Oh, get off the gas, get off the gas, Nick.
Yeah, you're right. These guys are reeling in the leader slowly, so maybe if Mike's seeing that interval coming down a little bit, he's okay to maybe try and save up some ERS here and make a run a little bit later. But then on the other hand, maybe not. He's got to try and stay right now with KD. Make sure that KD with a penalty. So at the end of the day, Mike will pick up that spot, but he's gonna have to be. Yeah, he's just got to be aware of what's going on. A clean.
I mean, Daniel Hernandez is sniffing the barrel of his first ever race win in Transnational eSports, I believe. Oh, he's off! Hernandez is off!
Oh. No, he's not.
What?
No, he's not.
Oh, no, here we go again. Are you sure? Are you absolutely positive he hasn't just drew?
Yeah.
Oh, no, there's massive desync. There's massive desync. He's just got drilled into the back by, I think... That might have been Peter Hayward, actually.
Oh,
Okay, there we go. Now it's flipped back into...
Don't do that to me.
Yeah, well... it just looked like he just drove off at turn 4.
Nope. Not at all. He is still alive and well and running P1.
I will clip that and I will show you that.
Oh, I believe you. I believe you. Actually, KD, Kyle. Oh, virtual safety car.
Nick's in the...
He's had an off.
That's at Spoon. Wait, that's at Spoon. That's...
Yeah, that's at Spoon. Let's see, where did he go
quite a long
off?
way. It's quite a way to go off the track.
He really is up
can't.
there. I wonder how... I don't know.
Oh, I think I'm about to be disconnected. I'm getting that migrating host thing. Yep.
Must have had a big moment there for Nick to find his way that far up into the tires. Not usually a spot where you see something like that happen. But also, just before that virtual came out, which we're back now to green flag racing, KD is reeling in, and Michael Groen Jr. are both reeling in Daniel Hernandez here. The gap is now down to a half second, so with 5 laps to go, we're going to have a battle here, a proper duel for the race victory, and traffic is going to play a factor in this too, as they're approaching a good gaggle of lap cars.
I need to lay off the grey stuff. That's rich coming from you, Bojan.
Boys, play nice. Play nice. Just us. We're here in Canada. We can lay out. We don't need to lay off of it. We can just keep giving her.
Yeah, well, here in New Zealand, it's still illegal.
Sucks to be in New Zealand, I suppose. Then.
Not really. I'm not a pot smoker, so I don't really relish or disappoint on it.
As we're Daniel Hernandez getting past the lap car.
Oh,
sorry, my partner interjected.
Oh, battle for the lead. KD's gonna get a... Yeah, KD got around Daniel Hernandez for the race lead. Michael Groen Jr.'s fallen back a little bit, but man, Daniel Hernandez, I guess, just maybe not navigating that lap car very well. Of course, Daniel still...
Like, Michael didn't get past him very quickly either.
Yeah, Mike would have caught him at a worse spot than the leaders did. The leaders got past him on the straightaway. Oh, and then Carlos! Oh my goodness, that was...
Daniel.
Yeah, that was a little bit sketch there. So maybe tire dag starting to come into play here. But
Michael will be shaking his head to that one because he would have thought now that he's gotten past Hernandez, that would have been his shot to come at him.
Yeah. KD picks up a 3-second time penalty. Another one. So the penalty 6 seconds now for KD. But woof, as Dunk sets the fastest lap of the race. Currently outside of the top 10 and ineligible for that extra point. But we'll see, is KD going to be able to make another run here into turn 1? He has no ERS left. Neither does Michael Groen Jr. Daniel Hernandez has some though. And KD was not going to be able to get close enough that time. So this is quite a three-way battle for the lead. It's still anybody's game. I would give Kyle a bit of... He has a handicap with that 6-second time penalty. But as that's a Mercedes off. Mercedes off the track. That was Peter Hayward, I believe.
He's got to keep it on the track, and Michael's got to watch out in case KD does take it off the track.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and Daniel really just has to. The one that he's battling is Mike right now. Daniel doesn't want to get too ahead of himself and try and hold off Katie too much here, but ooh, these guys are all they're 3/10 apart right now from one another, so should be good. As
I mean, Joker's got the most ERS out of all three of them.
yeah,
Not
Mike,
that I can see it, but who has the most in the terms of the warnings between Michael and Daniel?
Daniel Hernandez
That'd be
just picked up a 3-second time penalty. So Michael Garone Jr. is now in the catbird seat here, as long as he can stay close to these two, as there's a battle going on for the lead. Had a good view of it from Michael's perspective back there.
Sorry, you're going to have to run that Katzberg one by me.
In the catbird seat.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what the origins of that are, but it's I guess it's in like the prime position, the ideal position.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit around and explain all of my. I don't even know what those are called. There's a word for those.
Aneurysms?
Yeah.
No, that's just...
Did you say
maybe it is.
An aneurysm?
Maybe I did.
I don't think it's an aneurysm. I don't think that's definitely not good, but there's a word for it, and I'm sure there's somebody that'll come back at me tomorrow and be like, yeah, it's called this, and I'll appreciate it. But
So Gutierrez has just noticed has gotten past Monegro. Bill has done pretty well to hold down P3, but one thing that just caught my attention is that Ferraris haven't really been battling up the front today.
Well, the Ferraris, they had a decent qualifying effort. I think they started P7 and 8, or 8 and 9. But I think they both got damage from...
They got caught up in Dunk.
Yeah, Jonathan Dunk didn't get off the line, so... an idiom. Thank you.
Idiom.
J of...
J to the F.
J to them fingered? I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm thinking J to the M fingered.
Oh yes. So there we go. Yes.
Well, maybe he can translate that one for us as well as tell us about the idioms.
Yeah. As we watch the Ferrari battle, but we can go back now to the battle with Bill. They're side by side going into Casio. Still side by side through Casio. Bill's gonna hold that position. Bill. Seb's not gonna be happy to hear it, but Bill did a good job there of fighting off the Ferrari there. The Ferrari's going to take another run out of going into turn 1, though. Down the inside goes James. Not going to be able to get that pass done. Oh, now he is.
Bill goes wide.
Yeah.
And Dunk just got Aaron Boland, too, while that happened.
I guess I just got to take the inside and Bill just keep going wide.
So, actually, just thinking about that, I'll throw it at you. So, I told the guys about this idea for the America Series award ceremony candidation system. This one in particular, you're going to vote who's better, Seb or Bill.
Oh, we'll find out now, won't we?
We'll find out who is the one of the suck.
We will find out soon.
Now, Michael Garone Jr. has fallen off the back of KD here as we're on the final lap of this race. So, Michael Garone Jr., of course, he has no penalties to his name. He's got to make sure he runs a clean final lap here to be able to bring it home.
Now, how many warnings does he have, Seb? Quickly, check. How many?
I'm not checking anything right now. I'm watching my man.
Michael Garone Jr. is definitely in a much better position, or it's in a similar position to what Bill Vossi.
It's almost like your willingness.
It's a similar position to Bill Vossi, and you know,
Now
It's
he's trying to.
Dude,
Now he's trying.
shut up.
he's
Wait,
really
there's a
got to
yellow
be
flag.
careful. He's really got to be careful through sector 2 and 3 here.
God, he's gonna. If he does it, if he gets a penalty, he's gonna kill you.
There's so many opportunities to invalidate,
Dude,
and Mike is one. I don't think Mike has had a race this year where he hasn't picked up at least one penalty.
Oh my god, dude. Shut the
God,
fuck up.
if he gets it on the last quarter, you're gonna die a painful death.
As we're just watching Michael Garone Jr. here going to Casio right now. He made it through. Daniel Hernandez is going to cross the line first, but Michael Garone Jr. is going to win the Japanese Grand Prix. It's a 1-2 for McLaren
Jesus
as
Christ.
Daniel comes home second. Kyle with a very nice race to bring it home P3. The reserve Drake, the Passassin, comes home P4. Bucks has recovered nicely from starting dead last on the grid when he missed qualifying. He's going to bring it home P5. Daniel Hernandez coming out of the final corner now. I believe he's going to pick up P6. Nicely done for Daniel as Alex as he sticks it into the wall. Julian Monegro with a nice P7. James, one of the Ferraris, is still just going through 130R right now. He has no penalties, so he will retain P8. What's that, Seb?
Isn't there something in the rules against that? Doing what's going on at the finish line right now?
There's
No, only if you don't only if you don't cross the line when you do it. Jesus Christ!
Everybody's
Because
doing
now
it.
there's a Mercedes in the middle of it.
So Bill brings it home P10. That is across the start finish line. These guys are going to be like, what's going on? As all of these drivers, Dunk brings it home P11, the Iceman P12, Aaron Bolin P13, and my goodness, there's carnage on the start finish line. Just like we started the race, they end the race in absolute carnage as Michael Garone Jr. picks up the race victory. It's the first one in quite a while for Mike, and we'll get, of course, the top 3 into the party momentarily here.
Bro, that character straight looks like Michael.
Oh yeah, it does. And that dance walking up to the podium is exactly how I envision Mike would celebrate.
Well, that's the thing
life.
too. We've opened up a thing in the national server about having people show us your guns. In other words, so it's been a good understanding of seeing what people look like. So yeah, we can say that we can.
Oh yes, because Seb, of course, has some work. So who do we got here? We got Michael Garone Jr., Daniel Hernandez, and I need to get Kyle added. KD 1997. Yeah, he definitely does. That he does. Yeah, as we'll wait for the other two to join us.
Here.
So there comes Mike into the party as well. We'll, I guess, while we're waiting to see if Kyle is going to join us in the post-race interviews, we will start with Daniel Hernandez. Daniel, you a great race out there today. I mean, you were battling it out with. I mean, there was a nice battle throughout the entire race there. You showed really good pace out there. You got past Mike earlier in the race. Led a good portion of the race as well, and then ultimately came home today after penalties were factored in P2. So walk us through your Japanese Grand Prix.
Yeah, well, for qualifying, I was trying, everyone was on softs, so I tried to go on mediums to change the strategy because Michael was in front of me, and as he's my teammate, he can choose when to pit stop, and I have to work around that. Then I did a good lap with the softs, and then the first stint with the softs, we were all really close. I managed to pass Michael and KD, Sorry, not Michael and someone else, I think. And I don't know what happened to Zach. I got really surprised because of about what happened to him.
Actually,
Puncture.
so he had a puncture in one of his
Oh,
rear
no way.
tires. What I guess so. I guess interrupting your race run through here, but what were those tires like before you came into the pits? What were those softs like?
I think mine were like 61, 62. It wasn't bad. Like I think I could have gone longer, but I was losing too much time, and the virtual safety car appeared, so I had to take a chance and go into the pit box. And then on the mediums, I was scared because the whole race I had two warnings, and I didn't want to get the fucking penalty. So I was like shitting my pants, but then in the end I got it. So I just tried to push the last laps because I knew that Michael didn't have a warning penalty, and I was gonna lose position. But in the end, I couldn't create the gap, and congrats to him.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of the penalty or not, you really showed that. I mean, I don't know if we've seen a complete race from you like this throughout the entire season. You've definitely shown glimpses of really good pace, but just haven't really been able to put together the complete race, and you really showed that here today. You must be pretty satisfied. I mean, apart from the penalty that you unfortunately picked up, but you must be pretty happy with the effort here today.
Yeah, I'm really happy. The last races, I think from like Spa onwards, like the top guys were maybe 6 tenths, 7 tenths faster than me. And I don't know what happened today, but I just raced really good. Like I didn't expect to be this good. And yeah, it was really fun. All the race was with people really close, nice battles. And I hope that I can continue this streak until the end of the season.
Yeah, there's still 4 races to go left in this season. Still plenty of opportunity to pick up a race, maybe where that penalty doesn't end up biting you in the butt. But I mean, regardless, a great run here today, Daniel, and a big congrats on your P2.
Thank you.
We will jump over to our P3 finisher today. That is Kyle. Kyle, can you hear us?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Awesome. So, I mean, one of the newer, if not, I think you are the newest full-time driver here in at least the Monday Night Series, and picking up a podium in your second race as a full-time driver. So a big congratulations to you on that. A nice rebound from actually, I can't remember what happened last week,
Russia.
but yeah, I don't remember what happened last week though, but so maybe not a rebound, but I mean, regardless, you ran a great race out there. You had great pace, and you had some really good battles with a lot of the guys there. I mean, there was a group of 5 of you that were all very, very close on pace. Just unfortunately, penalties bit you there at the end of the race. But walk us through your qualifying effort and your Japanese Grand Prix.
Yeah, so well, it's actually my first full-time debut. But,
Okay.
yeah, no, it's all good. But qualifying, like my first stint, I wanted to be more cautious, just get a lap on the board. I was satisfied to get at least 26.7 on my first stint, but I just couldn't put it together in my last 2. I kept messing up in the first and third sector quite a bit, so lost quite a bit of time there. But I don't know if there was a timing glitch because it said I was qualified 8th and not 7th, because I think Buck's Joe came in late. I'm guessing that had to do something with it.
Yep.
With that timing glitch. Okay. But no, lap 1 was very interesting because I noticed that I think it was Spitz Games and J Dunk that were ahead of me, and then J Dunk didn't even move, so I instantly gained 2 positions at the start of the race, and yeah, it was good overall. Like I was stuck up behind the train. I was in the back of the 5-car train. Got stuck in quite a lot of dirty air from Top Gun for quite some time. But I tried my best to at least keep up because I know like with that kind of a pack, I know it's very difficult to make an overtake, especially in somewhere around Suzuka. But and then pretty much, I don't know what happened. Oh wait, actually, I take that back. You already explained what happened to Zach. Yeah, about the puncture. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know how he got a puncture that soon. Like, I know my tire condition was, I think by the time I went into the pits, like, my front left was absolutely horrid because it was, like, at 70%.
Looking back on the footage that I managed to slow down, his rear left, which was the one that blew up, he went across the grass.
Okay.
So, it's possibly reason to believe he got damage from it.
Okay. But, yeah, then coming to the second stint, I had a good battle with the two McLarens with Michael and David. It was pretty fun overall. My heart was beating quite fast, not gonna lie. Just trying my best to get the lead, but I know I had a penalty, and I tried my best to like get by David. I think it was on lap 21 or 22 on DRS. I got him around the outside, but then I went to the downhill section towards the bridge, and I nearly lost it by going wide on the grass and lost a lot of traction. So I was like, oh no, like I thought I was going to like lose the podium for sure because I was so scared about that. And then I think after that I got a penalty for going wide at Spoon Curve, which got me 6 seconds. Yeah, 2 of my penalties actually came from Spoon Curve, from just going wide. But no, overall it was a good race. I had fun. It was a great battle overall with Michael and David. I have to say it was a good debut for a full-time drive as well, and plus I think that's also my second podium overall as well, because I got one back in Russia, not from the Monday race but from the Sunday race. So very happy about that overall.
Yeah, you've definitely popped in, and you've shown really good pace here so far. So hopefully, as we round out this season and head into next, I mean, the championship battle for next year, it really looks like, or next season looks like it could be a lot of drivers in play, and could be a really fun one to watch. How that unfolds. So a big congratulations to you again, Kyle. And yeah, I mean, maybe we'll be talking to you again before the season is up.
All right, no problem. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
And now we move on to our race winner. It's been a few races, hasn't it, Mike? I believe it was it Australia? It might have been that. Been since a victory, but lots of hard work has gone in between then and now, and it all came together tonight. A really great win at Japan, and a massive congratulations to you on that.
Yeah, 16 weeks.
Whew.
It's been 16 weeks, and I've counted them one by one. And yeah, I mean, this one kind of fell into my hands.
But
really
I mean,
tough race.
Really tough races, right? I mean, we saw just the battles that were going on between, especially in the first stint, and then into the second stint, you were in battles as well. Unfortunately, we had Drake kind of dropped back a little bit after putting the hards on, and Zach, of course, had that big moment, which we'll talk about in a second. But yeah, you had some great battles there throughout the race, and what was really going through your mind as you started to see the race unfold in front of you? I mean, we said that Kyle had a penalty for a while, and you would have known that just as long as you kept it clean. But Daniel got that penalty pretty late, and what was going through your mind in the second stint of that race?
Yeah, so I figured out pretty early on in the race that I had by far the best car in the first and second sector. But yeah, as soon as I got to the exit of Spoon, I would just lose time. I mean, I was losing time with ERS engaged, rich fuel in the slipstream. So everybody just essentially running less wing than me, which yeah, helped them through there. But you know, the car felt really good through the first and second sector, but there's not really much you could do. So I pretty much knew early on that I was going to have to sit back and watch and just hope something would fall into my hands, and it kind of did. It was really unfortunate to see what happened to Zach. I hate to see a championship rival kind of fall out like that. I mean, fortunate for me, but that's not really the way I would like to gain so many points on him. I'll take it, but I would like to have battles with him on track and go for a shot at beating him on track, especially with how quick he's been the last few weeks. But yeah, just really tough to kind of just demoralizing. I was in a party with Maddie, and a couple of times all I really said throughout the last 20 laps was, "This is so demoralizing," and I must have said that 3 or 4 times, just knowing that there was really nothing I could do, and just having to hope that they got to racing hard up front, which they kind of did, and I just put myself in the right place at the right time and was able to take advantage. It was tough for me on penalties as well. I carried 2 warnings all the way from lap 8, so there was a lot of focus. Do
you want to tell Michael,
there.
Or should I?
I don't know. He can watch it back and see for himself.
Oh no! You're not getting out of this one.
I just wanted you to know, my mans, before I hop off this stream and go to bed, I just wanted to congratulate you, tell you it was amazing to watch you finally pick up another win, and Stu was over here trying to give you the commentator's curse, bro.
Yeah,
Stu
was willing you onto the commentator's curse.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say. I don't know. I think the real plan of the race was to get out in front through an undercut, and I knew if I had gotten out into the lead at any stage, I would be able to just drive away and not worry about having that straight line speed deficit. But that never really happened the way the race played out. So I think I had the most consistent pace in the field, but again, there was just literally nothing I could do. I was running like 5.8 on the wing. I could tell a lot of guys were probably running 2.6, 2.5, somewhere along those lines. So I don't know. In a situation like that, I think I really obviously made the best choice I could, and just trying to stay patient. And there was never really a point where I had to push super hard in that race, just because I knew I wasn't going to get around the guys in front of me anyway. So it was about, just doing a solid first sector, which I pretty much did every lap, and would claw in that 3 or 4 tenths to stay in DRS, and then, just take care of the track limits and, not pick up any stupid warnings that, at the end of the day aren't going to really gain you anything. So, yeah, overall, I mean, it's 16 weeks when you're somebody who expects to win races.
And it's not 16 weeks, it's 16 weeks.
Yeah. Got one at I got one at Spa, and it kind of got taken away from me post-race, so I don't know. I don't think this one can be taken away from me, so...
No, this is your race win to keep, sir. Regardless of what happens in the in any potential appeals or whatnot. But one of the things that you mentioned in there was the championship points picture. So with that, you've closed now to within 4 points of Zach. So that championship hunt is alive and well. There's 4 races left to go in the season. We have USA, Mexico, Brazil, and Abu Dhabi. What are your thoughts on those final 4 tracks? I mean, you must be eager to get going with them and really get this championship battle heated up again.
Yeah, I mean, going into tonight, I knew that, 29-point gap is not huge. I mean, you could see it diminish away pretty quickly like we did tonight. But I knew something was I was going to have to get a good haul of points on them at one stage, and really make it to where whoever, I really ideally wanted the last few races a very, very small points gap to where it's whoever does the better job. Whereas, if you're down 25, 30 points with a couple rounds to go, you have to beat that guy and then some. So now with the points being only 4 points, I believe.
Yep.
It's going to go down to the last 4 races and whoever performs the best. And it's so close now. Whoever comes out with a better finishes in these last 4 races is effectively going to win the championship. It's going to be really interesting with KD in the mix now. He's somebody that's very quick. He's aggressive. He's clean. You're not going to see him just totally wipe somebody out, which is always great to see from a driver who's going to be putting himself in the championship battle. I mean, he's a full-time driver now. He has every right to go for wins. And then, with the pace that Daniel showed today, you throw him in the mix, anything can really happen. I know Bucks got home really late tonight and barely even made it in. He made it in halfway through quali. So I think that hurt him a little bit, but Bucks isn't a slow driver either. So you throw the 4 or 5 of us in the mix. If Passassin keeps reserving, you're going to throw him in the mix, and he's going to be in some of those battles. So it's going to be really interesting. There's going to be close margins. I think if you see Zach and I racing each other, we're going to be racing each other as hard as you've ever seen, because there's so much on the line. But I'm looking forward to it. If there's, Zach and I get along really well, so I don't worry that there's going to be any funny business, and I know it's going to be a straight-up fight. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, one of the things also you can take into account is that coming into next season, you're going to have Andrew Honda in the fray as well. So if Passassin can get himself a full-time seat, you've got the making of quite a very tantalising championship prospect for Season 3.
Yeah, and even tonight, I mean, you look at the quality times, pretty much the top 10 were split by a second. I think
top
10th
8
was like...
Top 8 was 7/10 or 6/10 of a second.
So, those Ferrari boys aren't slow. I know they're really good in quali pace. I don't really know what happened to them in the race tonight. I have to go back and watch, but they're not slow either. We've seen them. We've seen them pick up podiums. So next season's going to be very, very interesting, and it's going to feel like Tier 1 no assists with how many guys I'm going to have to compete with every week.
Yeah, it's definitely has all the makings of being a really strong division next year. I know Brett or Seb, did you guys have anything else that you wanted to add here from Mike?
Probably nothing there. Oh, well, I mean, Mike, if you want to say something, or if you want me to say something in terms of potential merchandise sales.
Yeah, we could talk about that. We're in the beginning stages of doing some kind of merchandise, team jerseys, etc., for all you guys in the league. It's something that I know a few people have been asking for, specifically in the U.S. region. At this stage, we're kind of just doing mock-ups, figuring out exactly who we're going to be working with, and where we're gonna get all the prints done and buy the shirts from, and all that logistical stuff. But yeah, there should be something. It seems like it's coming along pretty well, so look out for it. Once everything is finalized and we do put something together, you'll see an announcement in the Discord, or we'll say something on a YouTube stream, and I don't know, I guess there'll be a link to it somewhere. But yeah, I'm excited for it.
And we'll try and get a discount code for the league members themselves as sort of a gratitude
discounts
thing.
Are good.
And proceeds will be going multiple ways into strengthening the servers, and of course to help in a few other things. We'll be doing at some stage, once we get the finalised version of it, we'll be doing Transnation iRacing ones for the Supercar League, which most of us are going to be in, apart from Seb, unless he gets a PC. But so all proceeds are going to go to a noble cause.
And a TV. I ain't getting it on a PC.
Come on.
I love how he just assumed I'm going to be there. He just lumped me into the category.
Well, you're going to be there in the iRacing side of it anyway. It's just not necessarily for supercars. But, I think that's everything, Stu.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, I think, we will... We'll wrap it up here then. A massive congratulations to all of our podium sitters here today, Kyle, Daniel, and Mike. It was definitely a fun one to watch, and I think a bit more fun to watch than last night's running of the Japanese Grand Prix. But on behalf of Seb, Brett, and myself, thank you for tuning into this Monday night coverage of the U.S. Regional Japanese Grand Prix. We will talk to you next week.